Do you know that some of the greatest moves of God in church history was led by two people who may look unfit in today's society? One of the greatest revivals that have ever happened since the day of Pentecost is the Welsh revival, and it was led by Evan Roberts, a young man at the age of 26. Imagine, at the age of 26, God used him greatly to impact the nation of Wales and Europe across. Within 1 year, 100,000 souls was won for Christ. And his prayer was God should burn us, because he heard a traveling minister praying that God should burn them. He was a young man who was taken out of school to work in the coal mining because his father got injured. And because of his prayer life and his hunger for the move of God, God used him greatly to impact nations and the whole Europe. Don't put a limit on yourself because you are too young. Because the church says you are supposed to be at this age, you are supposed to be like this. No, you are not too young for the move of God. Azusa Street Revival was led by William Seymour, a black man who was blind in one eye. In those days, blacks did not have the right and privilege like white men had. And in those days, there was this racial tension. But this man discovered that the gift of the Holy Spirit was not only for the apostles, but it was for us in these days. And he seek for the baptism of the Holy Spirit. He seek to speak in tongues, to pray in tongues. And through that anger that he had, one of the greatest move of God in church history, which is the Azusa Street Revival, happened, and it changed the entire history of the church. And God used him greatly. The poor and the rich in those days, white and blacks did not used to meet together and pray or to worship. But in Azusa Street Revival, the blacks and the whites came together, the poor and the rich, both of them came together. They stood shoulder by shoulder and they prayed, and God poured his spirit on them. And a lot of missionaries were sent abroad, and a lot of people were impacted. Even the clergymen and people who were very noble in society came and experienced the move